Hello and welcome to my Ultra Life. Today I'm in Sydney, Australia. If you've watched before, you might recognize this spot. I've actually been here a couple times before, and I've run from here on the coastal walk towards Bondi. And you might remember that I did a video called Sculptures by the Sea. Since I'm here again, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. You've seen some of the coastal walk before, but this time we'll be going south on the coastal walk to a place called Coogee Beach. And I think the run to Coogee is actually, it's different, but I think it's actually more beautiful and maybe even more interesting than running to Bondi. And Bondi, if you remember, is a famous surfing beach, very wide, clear beach with the icebergs, swim pool and whatnot. We'll see some other swim pools along the way and some interesting stuff. So let's get running to Coogee. Almost immediately as we start our run south, we find the Waverley Cemetery. And the coastal walk used to go down on the coastline in front of the cemetery, but due to some damage from a big storm in 2016, we have a detour that takes us right through this famous cemetery. So it's actually kind of a blessing in disguise, because without the detour, I may never have had the opportunity to run through here. Waverley Cemetery is really quite beautiful. It's known for these wonderful, huge monuments and vaults, family vaults and things. The cemetery was opened in 1878, and it's still running. They have funerals weekly, and I read that during its active time here, there have been more than 86,000 internments, cremations, and burials. So it's really quite a spectacle, and what a beautiful place to spend eternity. Just a short distance from the Waverley Cemetery, we come to Coogee, which is a narrow inlet and beach. So it's a long, narrow strip of water. It's a deep water, and as you can see across the way, there's the Surf Life Saving Club. Every beach has its own Surf Life Saving Club, and so on the weekends, all the lifeguards are volunteers. It's a beautiful long little inlet, great for swimming, as we'll see in a minute, and beautiful trail around the beach. So the great thing about Coogee is you can choose the cement pool or the natural ocean pool. Which one do you think you'd choose? And the interesting thing is, those were not young people. They were 60 and above, I would say. So you kind of wonder if they've been doing this all their life. Virtually across a shared parking lot from Coogee, we come to Gordon's Bay, and it's definitely wider bay than Coogee, but also just as scenic. No cement swimming pools, but it has its own aquatic activities. Wow, it looks like the It looks like the trail ends here. but actually it doesn't. This sidewalk leads to an underwater nature trail underneath Gordon's Bay. It's a 600-meter nature trail. There's actually underwater signs noting marine life, and there are sunken 40-gallon cement-filled oil drums placed along the way, linked by a chain. So if you're scuba diving, you just pull yourself along by the chain and follow the 600-meter nature trail. So and it's maintained throughout the year by a group of people who want to conserve this wonderful nature trail. I actually snorkeled out here once, and we did see some fish and stuff. It was great. We didn't actually find the chain because we were not good snorkelers, but you always see people out here scuba diving, a nature trail underwater. So you never know what you'll find on the way to Coogee Beach. To get to the end of Gordon's Bay, you've got some stairs to go up and down, but you're rewarded with just a beautiful scenic run and these rowboats. I love to get out on a rowboat, so these rowboats always kind of get me. And the flat rocks out there, wouldn't you love to just be out there on doing some hot rock yoga with the waves crashing in on the rocks behind you? To me, this is just a beautiful, beautiful spot. Once we leave Gordon's Bay, we'll run up another hill, and then we're in the Dunningham Reserve, which is a beautiful park leading us to Coogee Beach, our final destination on this morning's run. This opens up. Coogee is one of the wider beaches, not the widest, but much wider than what we've seen this morning, and just opens up this wide, vast view of the Pacific Ocean. So in Sydney, you've got a natural rock formation, and you had a bit of a cement wall, and you've got yourself a swimming pool. And this is kind of high tide. I've seen it much lower, and I've seen naked people in here. It's pretty secluded down this down some steep steps. It's incredible. There's people swimming out beyond the rock. I guess they're not as afraid of sharks. A lot of swimmers out in the ocean this morning. But it's a great feeling when you're out in a pool like this and the waves crash over the rocks right on top of you. It's so much fun. Now this is Coogee Beach. It's been a village since 1838. And in the early 1900s they had an entertainment pier out here with restaurants and theaters and shopping. They had a swimming and aquatic center. Today it's a broad, wide, sandy beach. And of course, they have another pool on the other side of the beach where I'm heading. What would a Sydney beach be without at least two pools? So here we are at the Coogee Beach Pool, right next to the Coogee Beach Surf Life City Club. Looks a bit of a high tide, but doesn't that look fun having the waves crash over you while you're in the pool? So that's the run from Bronte Beach to Coogee Beach. It's only about 1.5 miles, but look at all the things we saw and did along the way. It's a really wonderful, beautiful part of Sydney. I just love it. I've had an ultra-life time, and I hope you do too. Now all I've got to do is run back. See you next time. And if you like what I'm doing, even if you don't, subscribe!